Welcome back, everyone, to a Real Double Dose Channel special. This is your host, Lex, coming to you straight from the heart where the talk is real and the vibe is always live. Yes, it is. For any questions, show requests, or feedback, as always, in all of our episodes, you can catch me saying this. You can reach us at Real Double Dose Channel at yandex.com. That's YANDEX.com. And check out the wonderful blog spot we have at realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com with many multiple tons of pages and different links and so forth at the end of the blog, as well as our book links and so forth. You can catch up and brush up on enhancing everything that you are and more at the end of the blog spot in the About Me section, as well as check us out on TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, as well as Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, iTunes, SoundCloud, and many more, as well as our YouTube channel. So we will be rolling out all those links and more, even more links to what's already added. You can check out those links at the blogspot or on our other upload kind of RSS platform, which is soundcloud.com/ you can find Real Double Dose Channel. So this right here is not supposed to, originally I was thinking more so maybe this episode should come out before Valentine's, but then I realized even more that a lot of episodes come out right before Valentine's or on Valentine's, and they work good for some people that have that, but we wanted to shake up the notch and say this is to work after Valentine's. Everything that we speak about is to work for our almost 120 episodes, missing about 50, but it's all about enhancement before Valentine's. So, I mean, if it was just a little salt and sugar and we were kind of about everything else in the world but that, it would be. So this right here, it may be falling on that time to be, Lex, she released something, or RGC released something on their typical thing on Wednesday, but at the same time, the Three Wise Monkeys works just fine. This right here is only going to be about maybe 48 hours after Valentine's Day. So we want to have this out, but at the same time, we're still working in the background with different wonderful insights. But this right here, I was thinking of hashtag a love deception. Yes, and I didn't want to have that title out before Valentine's Day. I don't want people saying, oh, what a Debbie Downer. No, trust me. And on top of that, I have a full 8-hour day packed full of things that have to be done. And it's going to be fun, but I'm going to be very wiped out when it's all over. Said and done, which hopefully I pray it's going to be well worth it. So this is hashtag a love deception. Now, not love's deception. Love will never deceive. A love's deception. A love deception. Okay, so I want to make that clear. It's just single. A LOVE deception. Okay, and there's obviously multiple deceptions, but it's not love itself, right? It's what obviously the holder of love and how we hold love and view it and have been intaking it to, transcribe it into what we want it to be. So I'm going to take a page from one of my good old buddies kind of page. And I love him. You can check out all his material and more. And that's hashtag Derek Jackson. You can check him out on his handle also at, at Don't Forget Your Crown. And that is a wonderful person to be around because he does have a lot of good insights and a lot of great things. And I remember one of the things he was saying was, self-care is understanding that just because anyone could benefit from having you doesn't mean just anyone should be able to have you. And that's where I think a lot of us kind of mess up at, and especially myself, where I'm like, man, come on, Lex, it's okay. They completely, their whole lives just upgrade immediately. And I'm like, that's nice. All right. But where am I kind of getting that? Am I getting the juice because you're upgrading yourself more? And I'm just feeling it for the moment? Or is the ride already finished before I could even get on to even know it was a ride to begin with? So I love deception in my book, and it's always going to be like a triple or double-edged sword, in its own way. A good perspective, another perspective. Out of here, it means at the same time, not only is the person itself doing it to us, or we're allowing it to happen, or maybe that's just the way they've been and it's still happening, It's just the point, how are we embracing it for ourselves? And if we can't catch it happening to ourselves, why are we allowing it to continue on with ourselves? And as well as, are we doing it to ourselves, right? It's a whole another concept. So at the end of the day, it always comes down to what it is. We can't confuse wanting, or should I say, don't confuse wanting you with valuing you. Okay, just because someone says, man, I really want you, I want to be with you, but do they value you? Do they care enough to see what's going on with your appointment when you have one? Or if your car breaks down and your tire pops, do they care? Okay, no matter what they're going through, man or female, they should care enough to ask you and stop and smell the roses. Do they care? Okay, there's a difference between wanting and valuing you. If no one values you and just says, oh, I want you around, but I could care less if you have, for example, 20,000 fire ants, biting on your leg. Hey, I just want you around. You could be suffering, but I don't care. And this is still love. It's still love, and what love means, not just a day of love. It's still understanding the after effects of, quote, Valentine's Day, and the before effects, and our whole lives are Valentine's Day. Every life we live, every day is Valentine's Day. Everyday Valentine's. I should have a hashtag everyday Valentine's. A love deception. That's what we're going to go right now. But you can put that in the comments if you want, or anything, whatever platform you're listening to, or just on your own handle or your own page, hashtag everyday Valentine's. Okay. Now, so don't confuse wanting you with valuing you. Okay. Don't confuse liking you with loving you. Okay. So if a person, and I remember I had that quote in one of the Yourself series that came out, where it was coming from hashtag Jay Shetty, and he was saying, and I had said this a couple times to some of my colleagues, and I was like, a person who cares about you will ask how you're doing, and just take it for face value. And it doesn't mean that they hate you or they're not, are in your zone, pretty much, like as far as really caring about you as a person. It just means that that's what they're going to take. Okay, she said she was fine, care about them, but I got others to do. I don't know. But a person who loves you will ask you how you're doing and wait for you to tell the truth. Try to find it out. Not pick at you, but find it out. A person who cares about you will call you or text you, hey, I was thinking about you, see how you're doing. Just wanted to say hello. I really care about you. Okay? This is some of the perception a lot of us take. I mean, some people, quote, claim to love each other, and they only talk to each other once or twice a year. All right, love you, talk to you later. But it's still a care love, right? It's when I say I like you, right? Liking someone and loving someone is completely different. Liking someone is saying, hey, why don't we catch lunch, next week, and let's do something, right? But loving someone and loving thyself, is a whole another level. Loving someone is basically, in my opinion and my facts that I hold, and a lot of other people agree and some might not disagree, it means you have to, if you love someone, it makes you feel kind of nauseous or weird just to not even hear a single word from that person in a day. Sometimes for some people it's a minute or an hour. That's a little excessive. I get it, unless they're, going through some things. But at the same time, like, if you love someone, you cannot stay away from something that you love. It could be an obsession, you never know. But whatever it is, that love is going to always overdo like. When someone says, I like you, you're cool, you're nice, they still can see life without you, right? And just because you love someone doesn't mean you have to see your whole life with them if things go wrong, all right? But when you love someone, it's a committed feeling. It's already there. You can't just stop it like a faucet and make the water stop dripping. That's the whole thing. If you like something, right? Last sentence for that. You go to a restaurant, you like something. Oh, it's pretty good. Maybe if I'm around town again, I'll come check it out. It was okay. You don't have a whole lot of feedback, but it's not negative feedback. But when you love something, oh, wait a minute. Hey, you know what? Tell your server, okay? Tell the whole restaurant for all you want. I love this. Absolutely want. You spread the good news about how you felt about it. You tell people, oh, I went to this restaurant and had this particular thing and it was so delicious, so wonderful. I'm going to go back there next week. This is my spot. That's where I want to go. I love it. Yes, we got that out of it. I want to make my parables done, just so we understand here, okay? And don't confuse their convenience with commitment. Okay, so if someone, oh man, they must be really committed to me. Examples given. What do you mean? Well, every time I give him a call, he says, hey, when I get off of work, I'm going to watch a movie with you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. She's going to be available for me. She's going to not go to the mall today and do this and do that. But look at the insights here. Is it for the fact they have nothing to do? Because you could test it. If there is something that comes up, will you be put later on? Convenience versus commitment. If you have, and this is where I started looking at this. I looked at it from another page where one of my friends were like, man, it's kind of funny how you don't have time to hang out with me anymore, talk to me, or do anything anymore. And just a couple weeks ago, you were texting me all day long and trying to hang out and so forth, and you just drop off the map. Like, what does that mean, Lex? What's going on? And I'm thinking, no. I felt really bad. I did. And I was like, and honestly, the truth was, I told him, I said, I had a lot of energy at the time, a lot of things going on, and I was trying to give you as much as I could because you were going through a lot of things, but I was taking from my own energy as well. So I explained the situation to them. It doesn't mean I care about you or love you less. It just means I have to love me a little bit more right now, because without my health and longevity or things that I'm going through, I can't be available for anybody. But at the same time, it wasn't convenience, so I could look at that. I had to separate. Was it convenience where I was just talking to them because I was bored and sad? And in some way it was, because I'm still dealing with the mourning and the grief over things happening and the tragedies happening in my life. So I did kind of stipulate that towards, okay, I'm conveniently open with my emotions right now. I need my friend 10 times more. And as I felt myself grow into myself and needing that rest, I kind of was like, I didn't want to be committed to that. Right? I committed to being that way. I wanted it my soul convenience. So yes, I'm guilty of that. Yes, you heard me say it. I'm guilty of that. But it wasn't in that, I still will tell the truth. I'm not going to just sit there and lie and, so forth. I do get completely exhausted being up 21 hours a day and 24 hours, people have to understand that too. And I have to make sure no matter how tired we are or how many things we are going through, we're not bringing someone down to a level of where they do feel love deception. And that's what we're all guilty of in some way, because we're feeling some type of way and we're always aching it there. Even though I found more of myself, I found who I am and my purpose. I understand that we all still have the human, capacities, capabilities, and downfalls in the flesh. That's as simple as it is. So yeah, let's not confuse the convenience with commitment. That's one thing we cannot do. We should not do, at least. All right, so I wanted to make sure we can get that going on. But I also wanted to say, don't confuse their attention with respect. Okay. And I noticed that a lot of people can give me their attention and so forth. And what do you mean you have my full attention, Lex? I'm right here. This is a past relationship I'm talking about. Forgive me if the microphone is getting too close or not. And I don't know what's going on. The volume is beautiful and supreme, but it keeps going a little loud. No matter how much you buy an expensive piece of equipment, it will always let you know. Technology will tell you what to do at the end. So I just want to put that out there. But I had, and maybe you can reciprocate with me. If you do, give me your feedback. I would love to know. We could feature it if you want, so discreetly or however you want to do it. But I remember when I had this relationship, and it's still diabolical because it still keeps trying to resurface up after all these years, and I don't know why. They don't get the message. They kept saying, oh, I'm so into you. I don't get it. All I want to do is call you 70 million times a day. All I want to do is be around you 24/7, all this other stuff. But all the attention in the world could not get me away from the drama that came with them without their mama, okay? It was too much. It was no respect in it. Because if a person can hang around you, for instance, one of my friends, Samantha, dealt with her relationship with Tommy. The whole thing with that was, hey, I'm texting her all the time and paying her attention. I'm sending her emojis and pictures and so forth. I want to know what she's doing every day, time of the day, because I'm just so happy and interested in you. But at the same time, it was like, if she got out of hand and said anything sideways, it was, hey, shut the blank up. I'm not going to say the word, of course. But it was, hey, shut your mouth. Or shut your face. Or I wish I could just do this to you. Or, I don't really care what you think. Oh, go on. Profanities, whatever they want to say. So in her mind, she's thinking, how could someone so obsessed over me, or who basically gives me all their attention, it seems, I know what they're doing all the time, not respect? Because it does not matter. It does not matter whatsoever. Okay, wanting you and valuing you is separated. Liking you and loving you is separated to a great degrees. Convenience, don't confuse it, convenience with commitment. And then you got attention with respect. Just because something is paying attention to you doesn't mean anything. A hunter can pay attention to its prey, but he's still going to kill it for dinner. Or some prize trophy. And I'm not saying they don't respect it. So if you're a hunting person, don't take it all wrong. I know a lot of hunters in my bloodline, as far as at least even culturally, from the reservation to Colombia, whatever it might be, from our ancestors, we all had to hunt at one point of our lives or another. It just means, and some don't have respect. Some won't pray over the animal. Some are just laughing about it. Who knows? And just because some guy is focused on some woman he wants, or some lady's focused on some guy she wants, doesn't mean she respects him. It could be a point of sexual object. It could be anything. So at the same time, we can't confuse attention, being given attention, for respect. So I just wanted to hit on that. Okay, this is a special for after Valentine's special, because every day is Valentine's Day. All right, so, and we can't confuse leeches with a rider. Yeah, let me break that down real quick. Man, that's my ride or die. Oh man, he is down for me all the way. He is right there. He is my rock and shining armor. Okay, she's my ride or die girl. I love her. She's so wonderful. She makes whatever. So don't confuse a leech with a rider. When you got someone that's so blood sucking, hung up on you, it could be hard for us to see the forest from the trees, where we assume because they suck it onto us so hard and they're always up under us, that they're just there for us through our ups and downs. No, honey, we are there for them through all of their downs and ups and curves and twists. There is no, as far as that goes, they might care for a fraction, because they have to pretend they care. They have to act like it, at least, to keep up the life that they need. But when you have someone just sitting with you and needs to mooch off you 24/7, where every time you turn around, your purse is being open, or your wallet's being open, or your briefcase, where every time you turn around, something's going down, you can't even take a sick day off because you're already sick in the stomach by what's going on. We can't take a person that uses us and leeches off of us as a person that is just solely right there by our side every step of the way, holding our hand, or our rider, our ride or die, whatever they call that now. So at the same time, you have to be careful who you are attached to and who is attached to you and what you have. Whether they need a place to stay, whether they need a pair of socks, whatever it is. And there's nothing wrong with giving those to those who want to do more and actually need it. But make sure you don't have someone just sitting there leeching and blood sucking everything off of you. Soul suckers, whatever they want to call them, to where you're depleted and they're just getting all, chunky in the process. Because if they're doing it to you and watching you go down and burn with the ship, guaranteed they're going to be willing to leech on to someone else when the opportunity comes. So let's put that out there. So last but not least, good timing. Don't confuse your pure heart with your lack of boundaries. That is my problem. Even though I've been called pure of heart basically my entire life. Maybe it's the innocence. I'm not going to say it's a zodiac thing, but the pure of heart, for those who carry it. Those of us who have that frailness of love, to where we could see the innocence and the virtue through what most would see as scum and not even worth the time, or a blink or a stare. I'm probably overly saturated with a lot more than most people would ever dream to take up, even though it's pure of heart, or pure in heart, should I say. But I will say this. It is to the point where we don't know our boundaries with that. Don't confuse our pure of hearts with, boundaries. With no boundaries. Because we could sit there and always say, well, this is the way it is, and we want to show love, and we want to give this person so much and so much. But at the same time, don't confuse our pure heart with our lack of boundaries. Each and every one of us have to have boundaries. It can't be this person's going through this and that so they can do whatever they want. It can't be they can take whatever we have and do what they need to do because they had a hard childhood or life. It can't be to the point of where we're just completely neglecting ourselves because we want to become, mother may I or father may I to everything that is. That's not our place. And we will never be the creator. Well, we are creators, created from the great spirit and the creator, but we are not the ones who originated the creation itself. That's one thing we need to understand, and I definitely need to embrace those things a lot better when it comes down to different things going on. It's good to have boundaries to let them know, hey, I might be pure of heart, okay, or pure in heart, whatever you want to say it, and there's things that I will handle a lot more deeper than most people would tolerate. But there's boundaries to how much I'm willing to take. And make sure you know how to keep up your walls and how to keep up, not necessarily distance, but keep up an understanding of knowing, hey, if I don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. That's the truth. You can't just sit there and just take all the crap in the world and say, well, okay, because you know what? You might go through 100 people who abuse pure of heart, hopefully just for a minute in time, if any of our time gets wasted on that. But that 101 might be the one that's like, you know what? I'm going to elevate this, help elevate this pure heart. And I'm going to become exactly what they see in me. So let's not waste time on things that are not putting time into themselves, let alone us. So to add that in, a relationship should consist of two people who love each other, which means encouraging, challenging, and holding on, or holding one another accountable. Not two people who tolerate each other and belittle, compete with, or even enable toxic behavior. And that's what all those things are. When you confuse those things, it's toxic behavior. No matter if it's a sign of verbal abuse, mental abuse, anything, it's still, or physical abuse, it's toxic behavior. And you're sponsoring that. We all are sponsoring that. And that's something that should not be tolerated with us. Yeah. And, Mr. Jackson will say, you doubted yourself, you questioned your intuition. You entertained the thought that maybe you were crazy when you knew deep down you weren't. You ignored your gut feeling and gave benefit of the doubts that were never earned. However, that's in the past now. Your slate has been wiped clean with nothing left but learned lessons, better judgment, and more confidence in your ability to notice when something isn't right. Move accordingly and without apology. Ooh, there's just some people between Derrick Jaxn, that's DerrickJaxn. Check him out. He's amazing. YouTube, Instagram, his website. Awesome. And hashtag Jay Shetty. If it was between those two, we had people to choose from to marry between that. It would definitely be those two. Automatically. To be able to be filled with that, mash him and Jay Shetty together would be amazing. I'm just saying, I had to throw that out there. Hey, this is about slices of everyday life. So I know it's, and it's about mostly encouraging and enhancing the life. I know it's not all about recipes and, who, push who down the stairs in celebrity fights and who did the Grammys, but this is our own personal Grammys. This is our own personal struggle to do what we need to do and get better. This is not about downplaying the situation, is upgrading our situation from where we currently are and where we're headed. So at the same time, don't beat yourself up about it and learn what it is. So even if you're celebrating this quote past Valentine's Day, think about and assess what's going on after. Was it worth all you needed besides looking at flowers and candies? I hope you did enjoy the day. I hope you have, tremendously so. But at least you can look at these principles and replay them now and truly figure out on this special episode for the hashtag Everyday Valentines, but the hashtag A Love Deception, and understand, is it something that we're feeding ourselves to believe in the perception of our own realities, or is it really what it is? And if it is, cut it off before the next Valentine's Day comes, or relinquish yourself, or set some boundaries, or do something to where you can at least get more out of life than what you're putting into it on all levels. Okay, we all deserve more, and it doesn't have to come in the forms of huge amounts of money and huge amounts of materials. It comes in the form of respect, understanding, real love, truth, honesty, and those people do exist out there. Okay, even if it's a person who gives you 90% of all you want and 10% makes little white lies about how good your cooking is or how nice you look in that pair of, suits or dresses or whatever. Okay, we're not going to get every single thing perfect, but it's in our imperfection that we find perfectionism. So we're going to be having a whole lot out there to do and put out, and I hope that you come on the journey and just be on everything that is, because we want to do some live events and so much more and have a huge movement with the RDDC family. It's because we're all worth it and we love you so much. So yeah, it's hashtag #ALoveDeception, and I want to say happy belated Valentine's Day and happy #everyday Valentine's Day. This is your host Lex. Check us out at realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com and realdoubledosechannel at yandex.com. All of our links are at the blog as well as SoundCloud and so much more on all of our platforms. Wonderful things coming, excitement, joy, and this is to you, my love, and my beautiful mother. Happy birthday on your February 16th and so much more. May you have healing and be the change. Feel the passion. Embrace the power of the spirit. I hope you enjoyed the special and so much more. And we'll be back with you very, very soon.